Good morning, Torrington. I'm Eric Starkey.
And I'm Crystal Albers. It's Thursday, October 26th.
And you're watching Torrington Today.
Well, in yesterday's paper, you can read all about a trip I made to Fort Laramie where they had a $150,000 drone in the air.
That's a hefty price tag.
Yes, they were looking at flood management plans. So if you want to see a picture of a $150,000 drone, that's the reason alone to pick up yesterday's paper.
For the low price of $1.
Yes, how can you beat that? But there's also stories about Chris Hovis stepped down as from her position as EWC Board of Trustee, so they're currently looking to fill that. Also, our editor Andy was at the Death and Life of Sneaky Fitch, a play currently ongoing at the EWC Fine Arts Auditorium, and there's lots of good pictures of that if you want to preview that before you attend the event. So, sorry, in tomorrow's paper.
It's almost the weekend.
Yes. In tomorrow's paper, there's a story about digital citizenship ahead of an incident in Converse County where a girl was kind of sexploitated, they call it, I guess. She was conned into sending photos of herself that were compromising and then blackmailed to try to share photos also of her younger brother. And so that man does not live in the U.S., and he's thought to be contacting people off friends lists of her victims on social media sites, so it could really happen to anyone.
Something to be aware of,
yeah,
for sure.
So read that story. Also, we've got pictures galore from events this week, so I guess just check out Friday's paper as well.
Well, in sports, if you didn't know, I don't know how you couldn't, but last Friday was the last week of the football regular season. Torrington, they had already locked up the number 1 seed, so I don't want to say it was a meaningless game because it was still senior night, but it didn't affect playoff seeding or anything. But it only took them 24 minutes to pick up the win because the game was called at halftime for Lightning. So if you went to Torrington's game, I think it took a while for them to decide to call the game eventually, but a rather short playing time, I should say.
But big rewards.
Yes, that's true. And then Southeast is also in action at home, and they were playing in a must-win game. It was basically a playoff game before the playoffs, and they picked up the win over Lusk, so you can read about that in yesterday's paper. Lingo Fort Laramie was in action in Dalton, Nebraska against South Platte, Nebraska, and they kept things tight, but they ended up falling in their final regular season game. So you can read about those 3 games. In tomorrow's paper, you can read about a monster antelope buck that was taken from right here in Goshen County.
Just in time for Halloween.
That's true. It was unofficially scored at 91 6/8 inches.
Wow.
She's getting the girl who got the antelope is getting it officially scored, and there's a 60-day waiting period, so we won't get the official numbers back for a little while, but I mean, nonetheless.
Yeah.
Anywhere in that
big.
Ballpark is pretty massive,
Yeah.
so you can read about that in tomorrow's paper. You can also read a preview for the 3 regional volleyball tournaments this weekend. I'll move right into upcoming events,
Sure.
I guess.
That's fine.
Torrington will be in Newcastle for their regional tournament. Southeast will be in Sundance, and Wheatland will be in... Lingo Fort Laramie will be in Wheatland. A lot of towns thrown around there, so that's obvious confusion there. For kind of live results, you can either like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, or check out the Wyoming High School Activities Association website. They'll be posting updates as the tournaments get rolling along. So
that sounds good. Or just tag along with you. It sounds like you're going to try to head to a couple.
Yeah, we'll see where I can get. I think I'll be in Newcastle and Sundance tomorrow, and then hopefully Wheatland on Saturday if I am still awake.
We'll drive careful, Eric. Well, if you're going to stick around here and you're in the Halloween spirit, there's plenty for you to go to. Saturday is Fort Laramie's 2nd annual Halloween roundup, and there's going to be a scarecrow competition, which you kind of have to plan ahead for that. So some details about that are also on their Facebook page, Fort Laramie Connection, or you can check out the paper, or there's some details in there about how to enter that scarecrow competition. There's pumpkin decorating, treats, that sort of thing. Sunday, there's a 4-H Harvest Carnival at the fairgrounds. Then there is, following that in the evening, is a spooky organ concert at United Methodist Church. So I think they usually have a fog machine and they roll out all the stops. Pull out all the stops for that. We know what I mean. And then Tuesday on Halloween, there's trunk or treats in Torrington and Lingle, as well as a pumpkin walk before Torrington's trunk or treat at the All Saints Episcopal Church for younger kids who maybe find some of the costumes their older peers wear to be a little scary. So there's plenty of Halloween stuff to do, and that's also in Friday's paper, a breakdown of that if you want to learn more about those events. So.
Well, I forgot.
Oh, sorry.
Some of the possibly most important upcoming events for sports, depending on what suits your fancy, but Torrington will be hosting a playoff game tomorrow night against Warland. That game is set to start at 7 p.m. If you want to make quite a haul to support your Cyclones, you could head to Cokeville.
Oh, okay.
They have a 1 p.m. kickoff, so maybe if you leave at breakfast, you'll get there in time for kickoff.
Show how good a fan you really are.
So those are the two football playoff games of note for Goshen County teams.
Okay.
So.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, I forgot. There's too many things going on this weekend. It's a lot to keep track of.
And it's also ahead of the 4-H Carnival. It's 4-H week.
Yes.
And it's also ahead of Halloween. It's Bat Week this week. So keep an eye out for our winged friends. And try not to kill them this week because it's sponsored by conservation efforts.
Well, on weather, if you haven't noticed, today is a lot different than yesterday. By now, yesterday I think I was in just a polo and was pretty comfortable, but today if I was wearing a polo it would be pretty cold.
Mm-hmm.
Today's high is 43 and we're looking at rain for this morning, but this afternoon into the evening we should be pretty dry. Tomorrow we're at 47 degrees, so if you're heading to a football game, be sure to pack an extra coat. And then on Saturday we're looking at 57 degrees, so we're jumping up a little bit, and it should be pretty sunny on Saturday. So I feel like I've been saying this past couple weeks, but if you have any last minute chores that you need done outside, this Saturday might be one of your last days to get it done.
Yes.
So.
I think the worst part's the wind, really.
Yeah. So
If you have any kites that need flown, bundle up and try that.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Get your kites some exercise.
Well, there you have it, Torrington. Support your local bats and get out and fly a kite this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Eric Starkey.
And I'm Crystal Albers.
And you've been watching Torrington Today.